A paracord, also known as a parachute cord, is a multi-purpose cord used by the military and outdoor sportsmen. It was first used in parachute suspension lines during the Second World War. However, after the war it became popular in civilian use as well. Made of nylon, it is constructed with several interwoven strands. With a test of 550 pounds, the paracord has 7 braided inner strands that can be removed for other purposes. In the U.S. military, the cord is not only popular with paratroopers, its versatility opens it up for use in many situations. For example, the inner threads can be used for sewing, dental floss, as ties for securing items, and a lot more. It's an incredibly light cord, hence its utilization over the board. One great use for the paracord has been the creation of paracord bracelets. Also referred to as survival bracelets, many outdoor hobbyists and professionals swear by them. With their durability and usage, it isn't any surprise as to why. The nylon construction keeps the bracelet immune to mold and other weathering by the elements. In addition to its durability, it can also be seen as a fashionable piece. Many people who desire the paracord for survival also enjoy the look of the braided bracelet. Whether made with one color or two, the paracord bracelet is gaining popularity in the mainstream as well as with outdoor sports. A few common uses include securing items, sewing and clothing repair, to stitch a wound or splint a limb, to hang heavy items such as wild game, to put together a tent or other shelter, mending broken shoelaces, used as a pace counter, as a tourniquet, for netting and traps. The options are limitless. In the wild, there is no way of predicting what kind of trouble might befall a hiker, hunter, or fisherman. A strong rope is clearly a must-have in any survival kit. One of the reasons the survival bracelets are so handy is that you don't have to take up room in your pack for extra rope. Not to mention, the material is so lightweight that it isn't a burden to have, and when needed, it can be unraveled into several feet. The benefits far outweigh the faults. In fact, one of the only faults in its usage is the elasticity, depending on what you want to use the cord for. Most of the time, it's a benefit and not a drawback. Of course, given its availability, you do have to be careful purchasing paracord. Not all paracord is of military grade. To make sure that it is, it's best to look for manufacturers that promise the military-specific cord. In a tight situation, the cord can save lives. However, if it doesn't have the same weight test or durability that it should, it could come with disappointment when you need it the most. Naturally, if fashion is what you're after, then its grade might not be as important of a factor. Before you start to make survival bracelets, it's best to decide your main purpose and what type of cord suits it. When it comes to making a survival bracelet, not a lot is required. It's not a difficult construction or incredibly costly either. In fact, it can be a fun, easy hobby to break into. All that's required first and foremost is the parachute cord. Cordage comes in a variety of colors, creating an endless array of designing options. Though remember, if your main goal is for emergency situations, a solid color is often best because then you have one solid length of cord. Aside from the cord itself, every paracord making kit needs a pair of scissors, an apparatus for weaving, a curved plastic release buckle, and a lighter. With these minimal supplies, the next step is to make the bracelet. When measuring the cord, remember that every foot of cord will be used in 1 inch of bracelet. Once the buckle has been secured to either end of the bracelet, all that's left is the knotting process. While the bracelet might appear complicated, it isn't. The weaving pattern is incredibly easy to follow and systematic. The weave should alternate, however. If the weave doesn't, the pattern won't be uniform. This process is usually the hardest to get the hang of. Don't worry about messing up at first, you can always redo it. A little bit of practice goes a long way, and eventually, the knotting is nothing.